providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Oh, hello, everyone. You surprised me. What are you all doing here?
Do not make them leave.
Don't go. I mean, come on in. Come on in and stay for a while. Welcome to Caregiver Crossing. I'm glad you're here. If this is your first time joining us, Caregiver Crossing is a show that is brought to you by Joyce House, presented in partnership with Cardon and Associates. Let me tell you, I am here at Joyce House in the Joyce House studio, along with Tina McIntosh.
Good morning.
And what's his name? Noah Taylor.
Yeah.
What's his name?
And it sounds at Joyce House on this day in the recording studios, my walk in here in the Broad Ripple area. It sounds as if you're having a pool party for all of your guests. Are you having a pool party?
I wish we were. I do think the pool's closed a week or two ago, but I'll give a quick shout out to Cinderwell.
Yes.
They are very graciously volunteering some of their hours today to help us out at Joyce
how
House.
great is that? Just a reminder, you can do that here at Joyce House. It's really something that will change your life and you'll want to come back.
I hope so. We love having
I
volunteers.
know you don't want to talk about it or brag about it, so I'm going to do it for you.
I mean, here's the thing.
They're so humble. This is such a magical place for those that need care.
You're too sweet.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
It is
so
magical.
special and
It really
magical.
is.
And the sounds of for those of you that know the sounds of the daycare for your kids, the laughter and the fun and sometimes music in the background, somebody playing. It's exactly like that. It's just for an older, well, not even older. I mean, some of your folks aren't one can be considered older in the past,
Correct.
right?
I mean, average age here is 70, what now? 5,
Yeah.
4, something like that.
Yeah, 74, I believe.
But you've had younger.
We've had everywhere from 18 to 102 years old. So anywhere in between.
Anywhere in between.
Or break a record. Go for 104. That's cool.
Yeah, you could be our oldest guest at Joyce House.
Our adult day services, both here in Broad Ripple and at the University of Indianapolis. You can learn more at joycehouse.org. And we've got caregiver support services too, which we're going to keep telling you about. But not right now because you know what? We are celebrating National Grandparents' Day.
Woo!
You know what? I think that's awesome.
What exact date is it? Do we
It was
know?
the 7th, I believe, is what Noah, isn't that right, Noah?
Yeah, I think it was a week or two ago, earlier this September.
Yeah.
I don't really ever hear anything about it.
You know,
No.
I don't either. I knew that Grandparents' Day was a thing, but I think I'm trying to be a little bit more involved because I am part of this Caregiver Crossing show. I think that everybody should celebrate National Grandparents' Day.
Well, why can't we just celebrate it today?
Absolutely right. We can celebrate it every day of the month.
Can we say this is National Grandparents' Day at Joyce House?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do anything you want.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused right now because Terry has 18 pairs of glasses on her head and she's pulling more out of her curly hair. She has these new
That's where I
things.
store them.
Oh, Lord. She has these new things called bunny eyes glasses.
Oh, gosh.
Go ahead. In 20 seconds or less, share with the class.
These are glasses that if you actually are a reader and you need reading glasses, you need them. But you also are doing it while you're watching TV or something else. You know, sometimes you have to pull the glasses down right low on your nose. But with bunny eyes, all you have to do is tilt the frames down.
Oh, you hear the sound of the
Do
tilting,
you hear
my
that?
friends.
And
They're
you-
not really broken in yet.
No. So now my eye is out level with the television, but I can look down and now I'm seeing with my readers, I can read my book.
Bunny eyes, look them up. If you'd like to know about the other 17 pairs that she keeps in her hair, email me at tina@joycehouse.org. I'll send you a picture. All right, back to Grandparents' Day. We're celebrating here.
This might be good for a good present for your grandparents.
Well, the bunny eyes?
uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. You should never buy somebody else their readers.
Oh,
I think that's a written rule
Yeah, it
somewhere.
is.
But some questions for you guys. Do you have a favorite piece of advice that you've ever gotten from a grandparent or a saying
Oh my gosh.
other than you'll shoot your eye out?
Yeah, y'all should try out, kid. I don't know. I will say my favorite advice from my grandpa is that he always said to not take things too seriously. Like let's have a laugh about this and we can worry about it later. My favorite saying is grandparents are the best at telling stories. They really are. But every time my grandpa would tell me a story, he would start it with, Did I ever tell you about the time when I...
I
Yes.
love that.
yes, you did, but I
So
would love to
great.
hear again.
I'm doing that now.
Yes.
I'm doing that now.
I do too.
Did I ever tell you about the time? Because,
Well, plus you've been on the radio for 1,000 years, so you're telling stories all the time.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
Are you just
I'm
talking to your
doing that
husband?
now? Well, it's just- right.
So my grandma Ethel,
Grandma Ethel.
she used to tell us to walk straight in a parking lot, meaning if you got out of your car, don't go diagonal in the parking lot, you go straight across. There was a deeper meaning in there, and it was you're always thinking about other people.
Yeah.
Like you just don't want to get in people's way. You want to be considerate of people around you. We also had to pick up rocks if they had been kicked out of a bedding area on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
She would kick them back in. I find myself doing it all the time.
I mean, that's sweet. That somebody took a lot of hard time to get those rocks planted in the right spot.
I know, just kick them back in.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Right.
Grandmas are so special. I had a grandma that was like a grandma that you think was be a grandma that baked and did all the things. That was my grandma Shram, my grandma Condra on my mom's side. She was completely opposite. She was more like the grandma that kept moving. I mean, she was involved in every club in Indianapolis. I mean, she had garden clubs and all the clubs, and she just never stopped. She was never at home unless her grandkids were there. And then we spent a great deal of time with grandparents. And I remember, I think before I got married, I think it was right before I got married, and my grandma's advice was never tell him he's doing it wrong.
Oh, interesting.
And that was good advice. I mean, that's good advice for both of you when you get married, because for some reason that sparks anger. David did it to me just not long ago when I was pulling weeds, and I said, "You're doing it wrong," and I just was like,
Do it yourself.
Exactly. It starts something every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every single time.
And Grandma Condor came to mind when it happened. I was like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. This is one of these things
I saw a
you
TikTok.
should never do.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was a man who was he was trying to get a fishing boat started and couldn't get it started. Kept trying to pull on the motor and get it started. And it was all the things you shouldn't say as the wife. Like, tell him you're hungry. Ask him if something's wrong. Ask him if he can do it faster. Like, I mean, there were some
hurry up?
fantastic
Oh my
things
gosh.
in there. Tell him the fish aren't
Yeah.
going to wait all day. Like,
I think that's great.
really good ideas.
I think that's great.
Don't do that.
Yep. Oh my gosh, all the little things that grandparents said. And grandpa that was just, that grandpa, the one that took you fishing, and he hunted for squirrels and had a cabin in the woods. And
But here's the thing, even if you're not close with your grandparents and they're still alive, there's still value in that relationship.
absolutely.
And not everybody can do that, I
Forever.
understand. But what if we just stopped and said, hey, Grandpa, tell me a story from when you were younger? Or
Yeah.
what's the best piece of advice you'd like to pass down? Or, just ask a question.
It starts with a question.
It
And
starts with
listen.
a question. And listen. And here's the thing. Grandparents. A lot of grandparents. They don't have the grandkids and the families around anymore. Everybody has moved.
Yeah, my
on.
grandparents lived in South Bend and Evansville, so both about 3 hours
Stay in
in
the
each
same
direction.
place much
Yeah.
longer, like they used to. All right, we got to take a break.
You can find past episodes of the show at joycehouse.org, and be sure to like and
Now.
follow us on Facebook. If you'd like to connect with us to discuss show topics, need help connecting with resources, or have a question that you'd like for us to answer on air, or just want to say hey, you can reach us at 317-254-0828, or you can email Tina at joycehouse.org. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon & Associates. We're here every week to bring you support, education, and hopefully a good laugh. Visit joycehouse.org to connect with us to your past episodes and learn more about caregiver support resources in the community and much, much more. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more right after the break.
Everybody, welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. We're glad you're here. We're the hosts. I'm Terry.
I'm Tina.
I'm Noah.
And today we're joined by somebody whose work is as meaningful as it is tender. This is such a great organization. You've heard us talk about it many, many times. Courtney Tillotta is here, and she is the Aftercare Support Manager at Indiana Donor, or with the Indiana Donor Network, where she walks alongside families in some of the hardest moments of their lives. I don't know how you do it. How are you, Courtney?
I'm really well. Thank you for having me. I'm so
you.
honored.
We've Courtney and I have had an interview. I've talked to her about Indiana Donor Network a couple of times, and there's so many great programs within the Indiana Donor Network for families, donor families, hero families. I mean, it's such a great organization. All right. I'm glad you're here. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, I'm going to start by asking you a question.
What
How
are you
about
doing
that?
here? What's happening now?
Where'd you get your shirt? It's really cute.
Thank you so much. Probably Amazon. So
Amen, sister. So, Courtney, first of all, if you could explain to us, because I was even breaking down the words, Aftercare Services, right? Like, what is Aftercare Services when we're looking at Indiana Donor Network?
yeah, so absolutely. So Aftercare Services, Aftercare Support is really how we care for and support our donor families after the donation.
And the donation being?
The donation being organ and tissue donation after their loved one has died. And, we also support families whose loved ones say yes to donation, but for some reason, donation doesn't happen. We still recognize that intent to donate is so important. That's really, without that intent, donation would never happen. Lives would never be saved. And so we want to swoop those families up, care for them, support them, just as we would any other family where the donation took place.
Now, Indiana Donor Network, sorry, I just give you my body when I'm gone. I sign off to give you my body, or
No, that's
Okay.
actually the IU School of Medicine.
Yeah, okay.
But registering to become an organ and a tissue donor means that you are able to give either solid organs upon your death or life-enhancing tissue gifts, which are things like corneas, skin, bone, vein, heart valves, all of the amazing gifts that many of us are able to give. And when we think of donation, we don't often think of tissue gifts. We often think of organ, but they're both so important. And any gift that anyone can give upon their death is so valuable beyond measure.
How do I do that? I want to give it to you. I don't know if you're going to want what I'm offering here for real, but
Absolutely.
I want to do that.
Absolutely. So you can do it a couple different ways. You can register at the BMV when they ask you if you want to become a registered donor, or you can go to donatelifeindiana.org and register your decision to become a donor.
They're talking to younger people now, those kids that are just getting ready to sign their licenses or to get their licenses. And and they do that because you don't often know what it really means when you do it, especially at that age. And so you go in and you really explain. Now, the aftercare that you provide, explain what that really is for those families and how close those families become as a unit.
Absolutely.
As this thread that they all have in common.
You're really right. It's really building a community of support. But that comes later, right? When families are first entering into care with us, they don't oftentimes truly know the impact that it's going to be and how far-reaching. So our team really has two focuses. Our first support is to provide grief support to those families who remain, to those caregivers who their loved one died, and no matter how they died. And second of all, we want to make sure we provide them with donation education, which really helps them understand the outcomes of their loved one's gifts. And even if they were not able to give, we help them understand that. So those are the two main purposes of our team.
When someone has passed and they've given their organs or their tissue, let's say it was my uncle and I was his power of attorney, would I know that it's been used?
Yes, you will. So that's a big part of what my team does. We follow up with families and we give them those outcomes. So we do that by phone, and we also do that by letter, where we outreach to them to share the final outcomes of their loved one's donation.
I would imagine some people don't want to know.
Correct.
And then some people, it is what gives them maybe their next breath to know that their loved one has impacted through this domino effect other people's lives.
Absolutely. So, just like with life, we all cope differently through different situations. It's the same thing with grief. Everyone grieves in their own way. Everyone is so unique in that journey. And that includes what information they want and what information they may not want. And sometimes, that ebbs and it flows. We have families who reach out to us years later and they say, I wasn't so sure about your support at the time, but now I think I'm ready. What can you do to help me? We're all in. We're all in to care for and support them however they need. There's no time trajectory for grief because grief and love are part of the same coin. They're just the opposite. And it's so important for us to let them control their own journey and for us just to be there and pivot when they need us.
Has there been situations where the donor families want to know the recipients' families and they make a connection?
Absolutely. And this is something that our team, we have the honor and privilege of walking families through on a regular basis. And not everyone in our organization gets to see this. So we're really lucky in this way. My team is able to facilitate those anonymous correspondences back and forth between donor families and recipients, kind of like them becoming pen pals with each other, but while maintaining medical confidentiality. And then there is a point when if they want to meet each other or have direct contact, they can do that through our team, and we're able to release that confidential information with both parties agreeing. And then it's an amazing moment when they're able to meet, and we are so privileged to be a part of it. Sometimes we have a family coming in on September 27th to our office to meet their son's heart recipient for the first time. And so those things are precious. Those are the moments that we really hold on to. And, we just let families kind of take the driver's seat and tell us when they're ready for it.
You mentioned the driver's seat. I want to tell just a quick story if I can. And it's about being at an Indianapolis 500 a few years ago. And Brian Clausen was a beloved race car driver who lost his life. And his organs went to save many individuals' lives. And two of the recipients were there at the Indianapolis 500 this morning, one of these mornings that I went and had the opportunity to meet those two recipients. And they now have this bond. One of them, I believe, has lungs, and the other one maybe a heart, maybe the heart. These two were at the race together, and it was just pretty special. I mean, it's pretty special, that bond that they now have. And they live now because of Brian Clausen, who lost his life. And that was several years ago. But I've seen that unity in all different ways because of you all. And I know we just don't have too much longer here to go. But in this particular segment, about a minute to go, can we touch on Threads of Compassion?
Yes, absolutely.
Please tell us what this program is.
So Threads of Compassion was a program that myself and one of our organ coordinators founded back in 2013. And it is where volunteers are able to knit and crochet comfort shawls. And we give those comfort shawls to our donor hero families while they're either in the hospital as a source of comfort and color. Hospitals are typically not very colorful. We just want to provide even just a tiny little bit of comfort wherever we can. And then we're able to also give them to our donor families that we're not able to be with in person. We're able to send those in the mail, and they can select certain colors. So if their loved one who died, if their favorite color was purple, for example, we will send them a purple one. We just want to be able to make it as personal and special as possible.
And they are created, in many times, they are created by those recipients that have received an organ or tissue, and they have now a bond, and they have crochet together, crocheting these beautiful shawls and blankets. And you can do that too, and we will let you know how to do that. If you're a crocheter or knitter, you may want to make some of these shawls and make sure that the Indiana Donor Network has them, because they can never not have enough.
It's beautiful. I know we're going to take a break. While Noah's taking us out of this segment, I'm going to go get my driver's license and make sure.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon & Associates. We're here every week to bring you support, education, and hopefully a good laugh. Visit joycehouse.org to connect with us, hear past episodes, learn more about caregiver support resources in the community, and much, much more. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Tina McIntosh, Terry Stacy, Noah Taylor in studio with Courtney Tillotta. And Courtney is an LSW. I said it right.
I think you
LSW, licensed social worker, Aftercare Support Manager at the Indiana Donor Network. It's a really thoughtful conversation. Like, I hope somebody listening I hope you're saying to yourself, you know what? I want to be a donor. I'm not going to need this body when I'm gone. and you get onto either you go to the BMV or you get onto donatelifeindiana.org and state that. So, Courtney, you all do so much. And beyond this direct support, you also create these opportunities for families to remember and honor their loved ones. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, my goodness. We have so many different remembrance opportunities throughout the year, very purposefully, very different opportunities and events for families because everyone has different needs. So we have our donor memorial event where we are able to, it's more of our formal remembrance ceremony where families are able to come and honor their donor heroes in our memorial space, personalize a dedication, add photos, those kinds of things. We also have keepsake crafting event called Handmade Hope, where it's just that. You bring a photo of your donor hero and you craft and you make something in memory of them.
Oh, I like that one too.
We have children's support journey events where we have things like Donor Hero Camp and a children's support journey holiday party for those kiddos. And we also have a new event this year for our donor family picnic, which is very informal. We hosted it at the zoo, the Indianapolis Zoo. And then lastly, our newest event is called the Dia de los Muertos event for all of our Hispanic and Spanish-speaking families, and that is very new for us too, coming up on October 22nd. So we're really excited about that.
Do you know how many people are waiting for, or maybe what is the longest list for those that are waiting for an organ or a tissue?
Yes, the longest list for a need is kidney.
It's a kidney.
Yes, and I believe it is typically around a 6-year wait.
Holy moly.
I could be wrong, and now that's just generally speaking.
Yeah.
But
That's how many people are waiting for a kidney in our country.
Absolutely. There's so many people who are waiting and who need a life-saving organ. I believe nationally wide it's over 100,000 people who are waiting. And kidney is something that you can give as a gift as a living donor.
That's what I was going to say. You don't have to die to give a kidney.
Correct. So personal connection for me, my mom is a 3-time kidney recipient.
Wow.
2 of those times were before I was born. And the most recent, I was 10 years old, and her sister gave her a kidney 33 years ago, and they're both still doing so well.
Wow.
So, living kidney donation is profound. If you're listening and you think that that is something that you are interested in or you want to learn more about, my goodness, please connect with our local transplant centers here in Indiana. St. Vincent Hospital and University Hospital are the ones that do facilitate living donation. So,
I mean, I'm kind of like, which one of you wants to give a kidney? Noah? Terry?
I'll definitely think about it.
I had not even thought about it. I didn't even think about it.
I think my husband only has one kidney. Now his is he had kidney cancer, and so we had to get rid of one, but he's doing fine with it. And it's something in my head is like, I don't even know that I would be a match, but I'm like, what if something happened to his one kidney? Then I want to save mine for him, but
Yeah.
I don't even know that I'm a match.
Yeah. Well, there is isn't there some place you can go to see about matching? You could just get on a list and see if you match anything. Maybe? Is there something like that?
I think you're thinking of Grey's Anatomy, where
that
they
it?
used to
Well, they
give a
should have
kidney
something
for
like
a
that.
lung,
I'm
for
going
a toe. That was.
I'm going to start a Facebook page about it.
I bet you will.
Could you match anything?
It's like those kids nowadays who make these YouTube videos and they have a pen and then they trade it for a
trade
plant,
out.
and then they trade the plant for a car. That's what we're doing here. Sorry.
Okay,
no,
anyway,
totally,
I'm sorry.
There's a real answer in there.
Yes,
She
there
had
really
it.
is.
I don't know about that, Terry, but
That's okay.
I do know that if you want to give a kidney to someone that you know who needs one, for example, if my mom ever needs another transplant, I am, of course, saving one of mine for her.
Right.
If she did need one and I was not a match, then there's something called a domino transplant.
Yes.
Where I could maybe give to someone else who I do match with, and maybe their donor hero can give to my mom, or,
Yeah.
it just kind of is a massive, beautiful ripple effect.
It is really cool.
What was that called again?
Domino transplant.
I really like that.
Domino
Again, I have
transplant.
seen that on Grey's Anatomy. I'm not kidding.
Well, anyway.
Okay. All right.
Please.
But
Go ahead.
What do you all have as the biggest need? Is it, you're sitting here and we've got lots of people listening. Is it, we want you to donate money. We want you to donate your time. We want you to come to an event. We want you to put the little heart on which by the way, mine is, we checked, and I am a donor. What is maybe the top 1 or 2 things?
I think the top 1 or 2 things are educate yourself about donation. You really, figure out if it's right for you. It's so important. It's such a personal decision. And then get involved in our community, right? Check out indianadonornetwork.org. That's our website. We have so many different resources and educational tools on our website, and familiarize yourself with it. What's right for me and my family may not be right for Noah and his family, right? And so I think that's the most important thing. And, on a side note, we are always looking for volunteers to help and assist with various different things. We have so many different things you can get involved with. Terry, we have a monthly advocate workday where we have about 30 volunteers come in and they assemble our donor family care kits that we give to our families each month. And that can be things like tying the little scarf on the heartbeat bear and putting the recorder in the back.
Can I stop you on the heartbeat bear, please?
Please.
Tell everybody what that is.
Yes. So all of our families whose loved ones are sustained on a ventilator are able to obtain a Doppler recording of their loved one's heartbeat.
So cool.
And then we have these teddy bears where we put the recording in the back and we are able to seal them closed. And then we have a little scarf that the volunteers, the Threads of Compassion volunteers, knit and crochet to put on the teddy bear. And it's just such a special, meaningful keepsake, a linking object, which is so important in grief to have something that links you to the person who dies. The beautiful thing about the heartbeat bear, other than the heartbeat bear in and of itself, is that our team is able to save these recordings, and we save them securely so that way if the heartbeat bear ever stops working or if they lose it or what should happen, it's easily replaceable. We have the recording and we're able to, create those things forever.
You are so amazing. You really are what you do.
Yeah, I was
that
thinking,
link between
Courtney Tillotta, your team. Sorry, Terry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm
Let's
done.
hold hands.
Okay.
Touch me.
I'm touching you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel very sober, like somber. What's the right word? Just thinking about the work you do is really beautiful, and glad that you came in and shared it. I have every confidence that this conversation is going to change somebody's life.
That's our hope.
Right?
I have no doubt.
So, Courtney, thank you for everything you do.
Yeah.
Where can people go to learn more? What website?
They can go to indianadonornetwork.org.
Wonderful. And I just followed you on Facebook, too. I don't know why I wasn't doing that before. My apologies.
Follow them on Facebook.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joyce House in partnership with the amazing Cardon & Associates. With locations in Broad Ripple and near the University of Indianapolis campus, Joyce House provides exceptional day services for individuals living with a life-altering diagnosis and compassionate support for family caregivers throughout the community. At Joyce House, we believe that everyone deserves to live their best life, regardless of their abilities. Learn more about our adult day and caregiver support services by calling us at 317-254-0828 or by visiting joycehouse.org today. All right, stick around. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
We're back on Caregiver Crossing. I'm Tina McIntosh, still in studio. Haven't kicked me out yet, with Terry Stacy and Noah Taylor. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
All right, there's some new research out that we want to share with all of you, and it is showing surprising early clues about our brain health. So important. I feel like brain health is like they're the buzzwords right now, and it's all about how we sleep and what is happening in the gut. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. Poor sleep like insomnia, untreated sleep apnea, I'm not looking at either of you, I'm just saying it out loud, has been linked to higher dementia risk. And sometimes it's decades before we even have the memory problems. And so there was actually a study by Johns Hopkins, and it was in July of this year. And it tied these specific sleep patterns to changes in the brain regions that are most affected by Alzheimer's. Now, we're not saying lack of sleep causes Alzheimer's. That's not what we're saying here. Right. What we're hearing in this study is that it can play a part, though, in a future dementia. And at the same time, these scientists are learning that Parkinson's disease may actually begin in the gut when there are changes in bacteria and inflammation that show up years before somebody has their first tremor.
Oh, that makes me nervous.
Well,
honestly, me too. Like it is very hard to get a full night's sleep sometimes.
All right. So I need to tell you this. And I know we've got some other facts that we want to share in this, but I recently saw one of my favorite geriatric doctors who has retired. And I said to this person, tell me how you're spending your days. And the response was, I'm doing a lot of biking, walking, and I am doing productive rest throughout the days, and I'm getting at least 8 hours of sleep.
I like he says productive rest.
And I said, wow, like, what does that mean? And this person was telling me that, it's all about brain health. It ties right into the study. How many hours of sleep do you get a night, Terry?
Let me really think about that. I probably get about 7 hours of sleep, 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I don't know about 8, 7 hours of sleep, but I don't know that it's restful sleep.
That's the key right there.
I mean, I'm up and down. Noises wake me up. I'm not a good sleeper.
Well, so here's the problem with that.
I bet I don't ever go into the REM.
All right. So you're not going to like what you're going to hear.
I'm not. It scares
deep,
me.
Restful sleep that's actually when the brain clears out the toxins and it repairs itself. And so when we disrupt that cycle, the brain is more vulnerable to things like dementia. And so Parkinson's patients consistently show different gut bacteria than people without the disease. So I think what we're hearing here is there's a tie, which is odd to me.
Yeah, especially you wouldn't really think about gut health being linked to the Parkinson's. I feel like I understand the sleep one. That does seem right to me.
But I feel like they're different. Like there's gut health and there's sleep, right?
And how do you know when gut health? Is it if you don't have good gut health? Does that mean? I mean, obviously you're going to have symptoms, but can you also have bad gut health and not have any symptoms?
All right, we need and I'm going to say the words. We need a poop specialist.
Yep.
Terry and I have done this on the show before, and it is a fantastic conversation, Noah, because there's so much we can tell by what comes out. And nobody wants to talk about it. No. It's really, really important.
And your tongue. Your tongue is also very telling. Their fingernails are telling. I
feel like I want to hide all of my body right now.
I need to wear gloves.
I don't know what kind of a doctor that is that can go into all of that. Your tongue, what else?
Maybe we can also find an Ayurvedic doctor. Sorry, we'll talk about all this later because we've got some good ideas here.
Okay, go ahead.
But let's talk about why this why this is important for us as we're listening to the show as caregivers. And so, first of all, if you're noticing sleep changes in somebody, you know, if you're a caregiver, you probably are noticing those. Your stress causes differences. We hear here at NOAA, we hear people talk about their health and their sleep. And what do we hear from them?
We hear a lot about caregivers who aren't able to sleep. Restless nights, maybe very vivid dreams, or even with the gut, there can be stomach issues that we've heard about too from our caregivers.
Yeah, so here's the deal. As soon as you hear about this kind of stuff with yourself or your loved one, you got to talk with your doctor. Nowadays, just send a message in the portal. I mean, pick up the phone and call if you need to, schedule an appointment, but you can send a message and just say, hey, should I be seen for this or not? Because it really is important that you're talking with your primary care physician, about these things. And then pay attention to sleep and gut health. And it doesn't necessarily require this fancy equipment. I mean, I have a CPAP machine that I'm not using. It's not fancy, but it is there. It just looks at me. I don't wear it. Should I be saying this out loud? My
Probably
doctor might be
You
listening.
want to?
Yeah.
I'm listening to you.
Oh,
It's interesting.
boy. But it's about noticing patterns. You got to write these things down. Like what are you noticing? Is it something you've eaten? Is something you're drinking? Have you been hydrated enough during the day? Did you work out? Whatever it is, and then share them with your health professionals.
I'm thinking about how often I take a Pepsid.
Do you take it a lot?
I bet I take one every 2 weeks. But it's usually when I'm lying down.
Well, of course,
it's when I'm in bed.
Well, and it has to do with your gut health, and I think it has to do with too how things are trying to come back up, and then your throat, and then you feel it, and then you feel like you need to take something to get back to sleep. If you have really bad acid reflux, it hurts like crazy,
like a heart attack.
I can feel mine in my head.
Oh wow!
Literally feel it in my head, like up the back of my head, and for a minute I think I'm dying, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, it's just acid reflux. Yeah. Noah, you're too young for that issue, yeah?
Yeah, there are a few times where I've had to take a Tums, but I guess nothing where it's disrupting my sleep quite.
Yeah, your time will come, my friend.
Yes, I guess so.
It will, and if I would think you think about yourself too as a caregiver. I've been thinking about my mom when she was caring for Dad, and how many times a night he was up. He was awake, and she could never sleep so good for a long time,
Right.
many, many, many months as a caregiver, just with my dad's sleep patterns so crazy.
And she probably wasn't drinking enough water.
No,
Because then you
all
have to
those
take breaks
things.
to, go to the restroom
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You forget to drink the water. But then the other thing is, how many times do caregivers I know eat a meal right before they go to bed? Because it's the only time they have any peace
Yeah.
and quiet. And
You're
they're
probably right.
And then you go to bed. And then what does that do to your system, both your sleep and your gut health? Oh, yeah, we need a professional. We have a lot of questions.
I feel like I've heard that you're not supposed to eat until, 2 or 3 hours before
I think
you
you're
go
confusing
to sleep.
this with swimming.
Yeah.
And it's 30 minutes, but similar. I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
I mean, you think
something
about
like
it.
that.
You lay down, your body. You've got to break down the food. Just try and eat a little bit earlier, and try to get 8 hours of sleep. I have to lay down where I think I'm going to try and get 10 hours just to get 8 hours. Though.
Yeah.
It's
I
not going to
definitely
happen.
understand that with the restless nights.
Well, on that note, we got to go.
Well, happy
Time for us
sleeping, my friends.
some productive rest here.
It's time to go to sleep.
Nighty night. No, we are so glad you're here. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email me at tina@joyshouse.org. We do want to mention our sponsors before we go.
Caregiver Crossing is supported by Cardon & Associates, with 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest and more than 4 decades of senior living experience. Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Until next time, take good care of each other.